Hey everybody! It's been a bit since I've been on here. So we are getting ready to plan a couple of friend trips. We are doing a trip this weekend, and then the next 3 trips after that are all going to be with friends. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about planning trips with friends, and how we have made all the mistakes in the past, and how we plan trips these days. So first things first, when we're planning a trip, is we choose a central location. So we try to pick a place either with a lake or something fun to do, so that everybody kind of has a central place to go to. And then that's not like 4 hours for one person and 2 hours for somebody else. Like, we try to choose a central location that is good for everybody. So if you can find somewhere that's like, 2 to 3 hours with everybody, then that's a great location. I know here in Missouri, for where we live and where our friends go, anywhere that's like 2 hours south or 2 hours north is a good proximity to where all of our friends are. Everybody can get there within 2 or 3 hours. So step one, choose a place that's a central location for everybody. The second thing is food. Make a decision right up front if you guys are going to eat everything together, or if you're going to do things separately and maybe one meal together. I know we've definitely done trips where people thought we were going to do every meal together, and we were like, no. We will do like one or two meals together, and or no meals at all. So these days when we camp with friends, typically I'll do like 1 or 2 breakfast meals that are like really fun for the kids. So those meals are taken care of, and then maybe we come to get together for dinner, where everybody brings their own meat and maybe a side, and then we just kind of throw everything in the middle. So choose food, and don't expect to like eat every meal together, but like have the conversation. The best way, side note, the best way to plan a friend's trip is to choose a restaurant before you even go out on the trip. Everybody meet for drinks and dinner, and just hammer everything out over drinks and dinner, and then you're ready to go for the trip. So we don't necessarily do this anymore, just because we've done a couple of these friend trips so many times that it's just like a quick text message and that's it. But early on, before like we kind of knew everybody's way of camping, we would meet for drinks, usually margaritas, at a Mexican restaurant, and we would all meet together. We would plan the trip out, and then that way there was nothing like unexpected once we got on the trip with all of our friends, because everybody has their own camper. Some people stay with us, some people stay in tents, or they rent cabins close to the campground. So everybody just like, we laid it all out ready to go, and then once we got on the trip, it was just like fun, ready to go. So side note, if you're planning a trip with friends, do a big dinner ahead of time, and then that way everything is planned out. So back to food again. Don't expect to eat every meal together. It's okay if you don't eat every meal together. Just plan 1 or 2. Like I said, I do a bunch of things fun with the kids for breakfast, which they love. It's tradition. We do it every year. So just passing that along. Don't expect that. The next thing to go along with food is beverages. There's nothing worse, and I mean nothing worse, than that one friend who is constantly reaching in your cooler for beer. It's one thing if you offer, it's another thing if they like just go in and just start grabbing beer. So kind of set, like everybody brings their own drinks, everybody kind of does their own thing. Or if you are someone like me, who sometimes I like to make like, frozen margaritas or what have you, and like I'll make it for everybody. Just make sure that you have enough for everybody if you're going to do that. Otherwise, keep your beer to yourself. Toys. This has been one of those things that I've seen in the past be trouble for people, is like when you bring the side-by-sides, or you bring the boat or the jet skis, and then like this friend doesn't have it, doesn't have any toys. Like, we are the friend that doesn't have any toys, right? Rusty and I, like, we have the big camper, we let people stay with us, but like we don't have the toys. But we also don't have expectations to use other people's toys when we're up there, right? So if you have one of those friends that like doesn't have anything, make sure that, there's kind of an expectation of how you're going to use your toys, so that way nobody gets their feelings hurt. One of the things that we do on our friend trips, because we have 3 this year, where friends are going to be there, is, Rusty and I will bank ourselves like somewhere on the beach or on the bank somewhere of the lake, because 2 of the friend group people that are going, they have boats, and we don't expect to be on their boat all the time. We don't expect them to shuttle us around. Like, we will go and bank ourselves somewhere and like, okay, this is the central hub. And then like they can bring their boats in, we can swim. If people want to go out in their boats, if they invite people out in their boats, cool. If not, like, we have the central location. So that is a good tip. If you are the friend that doesn't have the boat or what have you, just make your spot like on the bank or on the beach, like the central hub, and then let everybody come to you. That's what we do. It makes it pretty easy. Next thing is schedule. So every family has their own schedule, right? They are going to go and come as they please. They're going to get up when they please. Like, don't set a schedule for people to like be up at a certain time. It's never going to work out that way. Like, we are early birds. We are up at 5 or 6. Now I have kids that wait for me at 5 or 6 o'clock. They're waiting for fried donuts or waffle bar, which is usually what I make for breakfast. But don't actually set a schedule like we're going to be on the water by 8 a.m. No, just like let people flow the way they want to flow. Early on, I would set a schedule, and I would always get aggravated because people aren't up, or I wanted breakfast at this time or whatever, and you're waiting on friends and this and that. And like, it just gets too complicated, right? So I always tell people, just do you. Like, if your family sleeps till 10 and you don't get on the water till noon, cool. Like, that's you, do it. If you are up at 6 a.m. like us, and you want to drink your coffee and you want to go slow and you want to do a walk and you know, all this kind of stuff, like, do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you don't have to do every second of every day with your friends. Like, you're there to like spend time with your family as well as your friends. So like, don't stress over a schedule. I would not set one at all. You're just going to get let down. That's just my advice on setting a schedule with friends. Next thing is to relax. Remember, you are there to have fun and relax and recharge. So don't, be high strung the entire time. I always say, now I don't have kids, but I'm always like, just let the kids do whatever they want, right? And I get there's some limitations in this and that, but relax. Like, you don't have to be the mom yelling all the time. You don't have to be this, you don't have to be that. Just like, enjoy your time and relax. A couple other tips that I have for you. I've seen this more times than not. I have sometimes been this person. One person should stay sober out of your friend group, because we all know people drink, people get loud, people get rambunctious. And if everybody in the group is like that, it can kind of cause problems within the campground. So if one person can make it a conscious effort to like stay sober or not drink as much or whatever, that way, if you have 2 or 3 of those friends that get loud, and the friends in my group, you know who you are. The friends that get loud, like, there's 1 or 2 people that can like hold them back. Okay. Not saying that your friends get in fights or whatever, but just even like if they get loud and somebody else asks them to calm down, or, hey, my kid's trying to sleep or something like that. Like, you want that person, you want there to be a sober person within your group that can be like, hey, we're going to take it down a notch. Sorry about that kind of thing. Bring a projector. So it is so much fun to set up an outdoor movie on the side of your camper. We've done it on the side of our rig a couple of times. Just set up a white sheet. We had a projector. We would play a movie. And the kids would have a complete outdoor, popcorn bar, have fun. It's a great thing to do, after dark, especially if you have kids that like still have energy and stuff. And you obviously, like, you're not going to let them ride their bikes when it's dark and things like that. Set up an outdoor movie, bring like 3 different kinds of popcorn, all the mix-ins, let them do a popcorn bar and do an outside movie. It is so much fun. And the kids really enjoy it. Another thing, it is okay if you have a friend that goes home early. Again, in our friend group, friend, you know who you are, who sometimes, like the weekend just gets to them, or the heat gets to them, or whatever, and they go home early. Like, it's no big deal. No feelings hurt at all. Like, dude, if you're just not feeling it, go home. Don't be mad at the friend that goes home early. Let them go. like they weren't enjoying their trip or whatever, like let them go. We love our friend that goes home early. We love him. You know, and sometimes it's just, you know, kids get crabby or husbands get crabby or whatever. It's totally fine if somebody in the friend group goes home early. Like as long as they're not the ones with the camper, go home early, you know. So be okay with that. Let them do whatever they want for the weekend. And then the last thing is enjoy your time. How many of us like just didn't get to see our friends last year or get to hang out with them? Like I'm really looking forward to our friend trips this year because we didn't get to do that last year. So we have one in like 3 weeks, I think, and then 2 in July. Like we are excited to go out with our friends this year. So yeah, those are my tips to enjoy friend trips, how to plan them, things like that. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know. Just comment below, like what do you guys want to see? What tips do you want? What more can we offer and provide for you guys? So thank you for tuning in today, and catch us next week when who knows what we'll talk about then. So thank you all. Have a good one.